What's going on, guys? Thanks for checking out this video on my channel. What I want to do on this video is actually do a recap on my thoughts of the Cfmoto 450Ss now that I'm going into my second riding season with it. So I haven't had the bike a full year yet. I bought it last summer. We're only in spring right now, but I have been riding the bike quite a bit. But I get a lot of comments. Most of them are very positive. I think people that have looked into this bike, you've either looked at it at a dealership or maybe you own one and you ride one yourself, you realize it really is a good bike. Cfmoto does an awful lot with KTM. They also have a part of Yamaha, where Cfmoto owns a part of Yamaha. I don't really know the logistics behind it. You can Google it and find out if you think I'm full of craziness on that. So Cfmoto is actually a pretty good manufacturer. I know that they are based out of China, so that bothers a lot of people, and I'm going to be honest with you, it kind of bothers me too. I would love to see, you know, this type of bike made in the United States. I'd love to see somebody step up the game and make an affordable, well-made, great technology sport bike from the United States, but I think it's really hard for manufacturers to accomplish that, at least affordably, in this country. And it sucks, I get it. I mean, I agree with most of you guys on that. So then we're stuck with going with a Japanese manufacturer like Honda, Kawasaki, Yamaha, Suzuki, or now Cfmoto, which is out of China. So there's a few things about Cfmoto in the United States that I don't think people realize. First being that they have built a big headquarters in the United States, and they have a huge dealer network. Not as big as some of the other ones, but they're growing really fast. So they're offering a great dealer network. They are offering a quality built motorcycle. They are a big contender now. They're not going anywhere. They continue to produce more bikes, more models, bigger engines. They're just really coming to the table with some great products for motorcycle riders, and they're definitely a brand to check out. This bike has a great warranty, a 2-year warranty on it, and you're not going to find that on a lot of other bikes. So they're standing behind their product. There is a recall on this bike right now, so that's another thing I want to talk about. The recall is that the T-box could come loose, which is kind of like the computer, could come loose and get stuck in the front forks, which is not good. But I do have the bike scheduled to have the recall being taken care of next week, so it's going to go down to Karn's Performance and have that done. And I've had people comment and say, you know, that's why you don't buy a Cfmoto, or that's why you don't buy a Chinese motorcycle. You know you have a recall. You got to realize that a recall happens on the top brands, the manufacturers that actually care, the manufacturers that are looked at to make sure that they're keeping you safe. I mean, if you're just a cheap Chinese manufacturer that's here today, gone tomorrow, nobody even knows if you have a recall. Nobody knows if they screwed things together all right. So I think it's actually a good thing that Cfmoto is just like any other manufacturer. They found a flaw and they're going to fix it. There's really nothing wrong with a recall unless it becomes excessive. You know, and I've often talked about BMW, the BMW 1000 RRs. I've always said that the RR stands for recall, because it seems like everybody's always talking about how their BMW is under recall. So Cfmoto has a recall. It's not really a big deal as long as they take care of it. So as far as the comfort on this bike, I'm about 6 feet tall, just under 200 pounds. I fit on it really well. I've had a lot of people ask me, you know, if a big person can fit on this bike. I'm not really big, I'm not really small, you know, I'm somewhere, I guess, in between. But yeah, I mean, if you're 6 feet, I mean, I think you could be bigger than me and fit on this fine. But I've always said that when people ask me, you know, whether I think they're going to fit or be comfortable on the bike, or how is it on long rides, you know, is it going to be comfortable on a long ride? For me, this bike is, but really everybody's built different, so I can't answer that for sure. I think you really have to go to a dealership, sit on the bike. If you have any experience riding, make sure you take it for a test ride if they'll let you do that. A lot of dealerships won't. I know that kind of sucks. But if you can actually get on it and find out for yourself how it feels, you know, don't just look at it. It's a great looking bike. Probably, in my opinion, is one of the best looking bikes you can buy, but don't buy it on the looks. You got to buy it on what's actually going to work for you, what you're going to be comfortable with. For me, this bike's awesome. I mean, it has plenty of power, it handles really well. I don't have any complaints as far as that at all. I don't have any complaints with the power at all. Now, I did put the Yoshimura slip-on exhaust on that just came out. It's the Yoshimura AT2 slip-on kit made specifically for the Cfmoto 450Ss. And Yoshimura claims that it gives you 6% more horsepower and 10% more torque. And I've had people laugh when I say that it feels like the bike actually really does have more horsepower. They're like, you know, you're just fooling yourself. That isn't me making it up. That's a company like Yoshimura saying that. But I believe it. The bike actually feels more powerful. So the bike is only a 450cc, and I know that some of you guys have commented they have larger bikes, and you're like, well, my bike's still going to be faster than your bike. You want to know something, though? There's always somebody that's going to be faster than you, even on your 1000cc. There's a lot of peer pressure when you ride a motorcycle to get a bigger engine, to go faster, to keep up. And if you ride in a group and you're on a 450 like this, or even the 650, and you think you're flying down the road and all of a sudden your buddy goes by you on a 1000cc, it feels like you're standing still. That's okay though, right? There's always going to be somebody faster than that guy too. I mean, look at the Grom gangs that are out there. Those guys love those bikes. I loved my Grom. Those bikes aren't fast at all, but they're a ton of fun. So the other thing I want to talk about is the helmet that I'm wearing. It is still the ILM Z501, and if you watched my first video on this, you'll find out that ILM reached out to me, asked me if I'd do a review on their helmet. They wanted an honest review. I said, sure, why not? I didn't expect to like the helmet as much as I do, but it really is comfortable. And I was a little bit nervous about ILM because if you watch videos of ILM helmets from years ago, you'll find that they were actually not overly good helmets. They were crappy helmets. There was a lot of people that did their own testing on the helmets. They didn't hold up very well. But I think you have to look at the new ILM helmets. You also have to realize that ILM has taken a step forward in getting not only DOT rating, but ECE rating on the helmets. So they are quality helmets. I believe like the newer ones, like with the Z501, like what I have on is a quality helmet. It's a safe helmet. It is legit ECE rated for safety. There's videos that ILM has posted on their YouTube channel showing the ECE testing. So they're legit. I know a lot of people have questioned and said, hey, they can print anything on the back of those helmets to say that they're ECE rated. How do I know that they are? Go to their YouTube channel, look it up. They're actually really good helmets. You might remember last fall, I was wearing an Alpine Stars airbag vest. And man, I hate to be negative about things, but Alpine Stars kind of burnt me with that airbag vest. I wore it 3 times. It stopped turning on, it stopped charging, it wouldn't do anything. So I contact them about their amazing warranty, their amazing customer service, and they have me do like a battery reset trying to figure out what's wrong with it. They finally figure out that there is something wrong with it, so I got to send it back. They tell me on the phone that I have to send an email in to get a RMA number to send it back. Okay, no big deal, right? That's typical. So then they get back to me and they say, well, you'll receive an RMA number within 10 days to return it. So 10 days is kind of a long time to get an RMA number, I think, but whatever. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Well, 10 days go by and I don't get the RMA numbers. I give it like another week and I email them again. I said, hey, you know, I really want to get this sent back. I spent a decent amount of money on this airbag vest. They're not cheap. I would really like to get it returned so I can get my airbag vest back on. Maybe they will end up taking care of it, but I think that they're just kind of taking too long to take care of something that costs a lot of money. I almost want to say I don't need an airbag vest because most of the time when you ride like I do, you're not really flying or racing. You know, I mean, I enjoy riding, but I'm not really an overly fast rider or anything. I still do these videos because I enjoy riding bike, so I kind of do it for personal reasons, but I also do care about you guys too, because you're a big part of this. So any kind of comment you guys have, I'm happy to get comments in. So that's all for this video, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and have a good one. Bye-bye.